So, Kahman Sense family, after years of dedicated building, creating a powerful movement from the ground up and fighting tirelessly for those who have been left without a voice, a critical turning point, my people, has finally been reached. The time has come where the spotlight must be turned completely back home, right to the very root of where everything began. The deeply unsettling story of Colaz Smith TV and Knife Ninja is rooted in a long shared past of people. It is a history that began many years ago in the quiet hills of Mount Celos. Growing up together in that community, my people, they were practically inseparable. They shared the rhythms of daily life in a them time, my people, sat down and shared food at the same table, and stood shoulder to shoulder through their early mutual struggles. Through all those years, my people, they forged a powerful brotherly bond that the community respected. A connection that everyone believed was defined by lifelong loyalty and unbreakable brotherhood. No one looking on back then, my people, could have ever predicted that this close relationship would eventually take such a dark, twisted, and entirely unexpected turn. Some people, as time passed and an unpredictable journey of life eventually led them down different paths towards the border of Dover, that one strongly brotherly connection began to frame people. What should have been a partnership built on mutual growth began to snap under heavy weight, and may I talk about heavy toxic weight of envy and hidden ambition. Instead of celebrating and collective progress with people of the movement, a bitter rivalry began to fester in the shadows. Knife Ninja made a fateful, devastating choice to turn away from the light and step into spiritual darkness. Driven by resentment, he began utilizing harmful spiritual practices and Obeah, deliberately targeting his former brother. His goal became clear: to secretly impede, undermine, and completely block the hard-earned growth of Colaz Smith TV and his success, my people. But the damage, my people, did not stop right there, so, This spiritual warfare began to directly disrupt the peace, energy, and safety of the entire surrounding community that had supported them both from the very beginning. This is exactly where things stand today, my people. The mask is being entirely removed, and this narrative is fully focused on bringing these hidden, dangerous threats directly into the light. We are standing firm, completely unyielding against such malicious practices, my people. The truth will no longer be hidden in the shadows of Mount Celos or Dover, my people. What more know right now, my people? What are your thoughts on this shocking, as I say, shocking betrayal between Knife Ninja and Colaz Smith TV? Do you believe a bond that deep, my people, can ever be truly restored after someone turns to spiritual darkness, or has the damage gone too far to ever look back? Let me know, my people, in the comment section. Drop your exact thoughts and theories in the comment section below. I want to see a massive debate on this one, my people, because I'm curious to know what you think about Knife Ninja or Obeah man, and why would he be going to Obeah man now, my people. As I say, if this opening version, my people, grip you guys, make sure you take a second right now, my people, if you like this video, share it with everyone who needs to know the truth, and subscribe to the Kahman Sense channel so you never miss a single unfolding saga, my people. Smash that notification bell, and most importantly, make sure you leave a comment below to keep the interaction alive, my people. So, my people, while one side of the story speaks of public triumph and open motivations and movement, the shadow hiding in the hills of Mount Celos, my people, are Celos, tells a completely different, far more sinister tale, my people, than ever. To truly understand the malice tearing apart a once unbreakable bond, you have to look away from the camera lens, my people, and step directly into the dark, quiet corners where envy is whispered into the night. This isn't just a story of a friendship gone bad, my people. This is a deep dive into the hidden spiritual warfare engineered to completely dismantle Colaz Smith TV from behind the scenes. As we say, people, growing up, the people of Mount Celos saw two boys who seemed destined to conquer the world together. They broke bread at the same tables, faced the harsh realities of poverty side by side, and promised that whatever success came their way, they would share it equally. But as the platform for Colaz Smith TV began to rise, gaining momentum and giving a powerful voice to the completely voiceless, a silent, venomous resentment began to brew in the heart of Knife Ninja. Envy is a quiet disease, my people. It watches your success from the corner of the room, smiling to your face while plotting your absolute ruins. As I say, my people, as the journey eventually pushed them towards the border of Dover, the mask completely slipped. Knife Ninja, as I say, couldn't handle the light shining so bright on his brother, my people. Instead of stepping up to build the movement, he chose the path of ultimate desperation, my people, stepping away from the natural world and diving headfirst into the realms of spiritual darkness. Imagine, my people, looking at the person who shared your struggle with, the person you call a brother, and realize they are actively working with unseen forces to destroy you. Knife Ninja didn't just walk away, my people. He took the sacred history of their childhood and weaponized it, utilizing heavy, malicious spiritual practices and Obeah. He began targeting calculated strikes intended to completely freeze the growth of Colaz Smith TV, and as I say, every hurdle, every sudden setback, and every unexplained piece of bad luck striking the channel wasn't just a coincidence. No, we know more people. It was a spiritual trap set by a former and a former brother. But the most devastating part of this spiritual sabotage, my people, it didn't just target one man, as me say. When you unleash that kind of darkness into the atmosphere, it bleeds into the very soil. The peace of the entire community has been compromised. That is, my people. The energy in Dover has shifted and same so is up in Mount Celos. Weighed down by the heavy toxic cloud of a betrayal that defies natural nature itself, my people. This version, my people, isn't just about a broken promise, you know. It's an urgent exposure of the unseen forces actively trying to choke out the truth. As I say, my people, look closely at the timeline here. Do you think Knife Ninja always carried this hidden malice from the days in Mount Sailors, or did the sudden success of Colaz Smith TV drive him to madness? Let's talk about the reality of spiritual warfare, my people, because have you ever witnessed envy drive someone to these extreme dark lengths, my people? Sound off in the comment section below, my people. Let me know what I wanna do. Because this decision is about to get intense, my people, and right now we have to keep the truth alive. Some people, to truly grasp the magnitude of this betrayal, we have to look at it through the eyes of the people who watched it unfold. We have to look at the community itself. When the journey myself and my people moved from the hills of Mount Celos and settled near the borders of Dover, as I say, upon the Dover border of Portland and St. Mary, the locals didn't just see a rising media platform in Colaz Smith TV, they saw a beacon of hope. They saw a movement that was finally going to put their struggles on the map. As me say, but while the crowd was cheering for the progress of people, a select few began to notice a chilling shift in the atmosphere. This isn't just about two men anymore, you know, my people. This is about how the spiritual corruption of one individual can cast a dark, suffocating net over an entire geographic region. For the residents of Dover, the brotherhood between Colaz Smith TV and Knife Ninja was supposed to be a shield. Instead, it became the backdoor for malice, my people. Community elders and close observers began to notice the subtle, unsettling changes first. Knife Ninja wasn't just slipping away from the daily operations of the movement, his entire demeanor was warping, my people. As me say, the shared laughter over food stopped, my people. The late night strategy sessions turned into isolation and isolated, and resentful silences. Those who walked the roads of Dover late at night started reporting a heavy, unnatural energy sleeping over the area. That kind of spirit static that only manifests when someone is actively calling on darkness from people. That was the energy we were getting from Knife Ninja. And the reality of the situation, it's hard when you look at the collateral damage. Knife Ninja's descent into spiritual darkness and his desperation reliance on Obeah wasn't a victimless crime. It was a direct assault on the collective energy of the neighborhood. Every time a project for Colaz Smith TV faced an unexplainable catastrophic delay, the hope of the community took a hit, my people. When a piece of equipment mysteriously failed or vital connection suddenly sourced, or even the few accidents that took place with the boys the other day, it wasn't just bad luck. It was a calculated spiritual blockage designed to ensure that if Knife Ninja couldn't hold the spotlight, then the entire ship would sink to the bottom. What Knife Ninja failed to realize is that the root planted in Mount Celos and watered in Dover run too deep to be choked out by any envy. As I said, the community is waking up to the reality of the warfare being waged in their own backyards. They are realizing that the struggles they've been facing aren't random. They are the fallouts of a bitter, resentful heart trying to sabotage a divine moment. The mask hasn't just slipped in on my people. It has been completely shattered, and the echoes of what happened at the borders of Dover are finally being spoken aloud. Think about the impact on the people around them, my people. When someone turns to dark spiritual practices out of pure envy, do you believe the community has a responsibility to step in, my people? Sorry about that stutter, and expose it, or should they stay out of it, my people? How much of the negativity we experience in our own lives is actually just the fallout of someone else's hidden resentment? Let's get a real, unfiltered conversation going in the comment section below, because we know a lot of you guys are going through similar situations like Colaz and Knife Ninja, or like Colaz with Knife Ninja being the Obeah worker here. As I say, my people, I want you guys to stand with the movement. The truth cannot be suppressed from people, and the light always conquers the shadow. If you are standing firmly with the community and refuse to let hidden malice win, smash that like button right now, my people. Share this broadcast to every corner, my people, of the internet, so the world knows what really is happening. And make sure you subscribe to the Kahman Sense channel, my people. Turn on your notification bell so you are ready to the exact second when people may drop a next exclusive update over here on the platform. As I say, we get more in detail in the exclusive of people. As I say, I like Knife Ninja. Him take up for himself, my people, run Ghana Obeah man, and as well the people them start speculate and say is nothing more than to bring down Colaz and continue scam the donors them without them asking him any questions. Some people, to truly understand a war, you cannot just look at the battlefield. You have to step inside the mind of the general pulling the string. In this case, we have to look directly into the psychologically or the psychology of the sabotuer, my people. What drives a man to look at his lifelong brother, my people, the person who stood with him through the poorest days in Mount Sailors, and decide that total destruction is the only option, my people. That more no. This isn't about the mechanics of the movement, my people. This is a raw psychological breakdown of how unchecked envy can completely rot a man's soul from the inside out. The transformation of Knife Ninjas didn't happen overnight, my people. It began with a whisper in his own mind, the toxic idea that he was being left behind. And when you grow up with someone sharing the same struggles and eating from the same plate, a fragile ego can easily mistake their success for your failure. As the digital empire of Colaz Smith TV began to command the attention of thousands, giving power to the voiceless, Knife Ninja didn't see a victory for the team. He saw a shadow being cast over his own existence. Every milestone the channel hit, every bit of praise it received, became a personal insult to his pride. When the journey eventually shifted, my people, to the borders of Dover, the internal wrath manifested into a desperate obsession. This is the psychological trap of the saboteur, my people. When, as I say, my people, when you realize you cannot match someone's light, your mind convinces you that you must force them into the darkness. Knife Ninja descent into spiritual darkness wasn't just a sudden spiritual detour, my people, as I say, my people. I want to know, it was a psychological white flag. He realized he couldn't compete with the raw authenticity of and divine purpose back in Colaz Smith TV. Out of pure desperation to level the playing field, my people, he turned to Obeah, to the shadows, relying on malicious spiritual practices and Obeah as a psychological crutch in his mind, my people. Every spiritual trap he set was a way to reclaim control and a way to soothe the burning humiliation of watching his brother succeed where he felt he couldn't. As me say, it is the ultimate tragedy of a resentful heart destroying a beautiful brotherhood just to satisfy a fragile, broken ego. But what the saboteur, my people, always forget is that a foundation built on pure envy is bound to crumble. By forcing all his energy on halting the growth of Colaz Smith TV, Knife Ninja completely trapped himself in his own darkness. He became a prisoner to his malice. While the movement he tried to choke out continued to stand firm, the psychological mask is off, and the world can finally see the tragic, bitter reality of a man who chose destruction over brotherhood. As I say, my people want to take time to just analyze the psychology behind this whole breakdown. Because when you see someone you grew up with surpass you, why do you think it drives some people to absolute malice, my people, instead of inspiring them to step up their own game? Have you ever had to cut off a close friend because you notice their silent envy turning toxic? Let's dissect the mind of the saboteur in the comment section below, my people, and keeping it entirely real. As I say, my people, the psychological warfare has been laid bare and the truth cannot be undone. If you are locked in at this at 100% and ready to see this saga through the very end, my people, smash that like button right now. Share this deep dive across every platform to open people's eyes to the reality of the hidden envy, and hit that subscribe button for the Kahman Sense channel immediately, my people, and turn on your notification bells. So now, my people, as I say, I want to know if one think why Knife Ninja go to that Obeah church what there, if you really and truly think him go there for science colors or Obeah colors, and Obeah the subscribers them into sending him all of their money. Let me know down in the comment section and I will be respectfully responding to those comments immediately. So as me say, my people, up to this point, the narrative have focused on the assault, the psychological rat, the community fallout, and the dark spiritual strategies engineered by Knife Ninja. But a war is never defined solely by the actions of the aggressor. To truly understand why Colaz Smith TV still stands today, we have to look at a completely different dimension of this battle, the unseen resistance. As me say, my people, this is not a story of a helpless target being dismantled in the dark. It is a deep dive into the spiritual armor, the resilience, and the quiet forces that have completely neutralized the sabotage. As me say, when Knife Ninja stepped away from the natural world and began utilizing Obeah near the borders of Mount Celos in the hills, he assumed his targets were completely unprotected. He believed that his calculated spiritual blockades, my people, would easily crush the growth of the channel. But there is a fatal flaw in the strategy of the saboteur, my people. They completely underestimate the power of a divine assignment. Colaz Smith TV, my people, wasn't built on a foundation of vanity or cheap ambition. It was built on a movement to give a powerful voice, that is, my people, to the voiceless. When a platform is backed by that kind of genuine community purpose, it develops an organic, unseen resistance, and every time malicious spiritual practices were hurled from the shadows, they didn't just hit a wall, they met a spiritual counterforce. The unexplained equipment failures and sudden setbacks weren't the end of the story, they were simply the friction of a movement breaking through a dark barrier. The true turning point in this entire saga is the resilience of the movement itself, my people. While the saboteur spent his nights locked away in isolation, consuming his own energy to plot destruction, the collective spirit of the community was acting as a shield. The roots planted deeply in Mount Celos couldn't be poisoned because the foundation was entirely pure. Knife Ninja's reliance on darkness, my people, that is, didn't break the channel, it simply exposed his own weakness, proving that no amount of hidden malice can choke out a narrative that is meant to be told. The battle lines are completely visible now, my people, and the resistance has proven to be entirely unbreakable. Let's look at this from a completely new angle, my people. When someone shows negativity or spiritual malice your way, do you believe the best response is to fight back directly, or does staying focused on your divine purpose naturally build its own shield? Or do you think Knife Ninja reacts when he realizes all his dark efforts are completely failing to stop the movement, or they are completely failing, my people, to stop Colaz Smith TV? Let's spark a massive discussion in the comment section below. I want to hear you guys' theories, my people. As me say, the resistance is active and the truth will always prevail over the shadows, my people, as we all know. Some people right now, to fully witness the final crumbling of a saboteur, you have to leave the spiritual altars behind and step onto the asphalt. You have to listen to the pavement in the end, my people. The ultimate judge of any movement isn't the hidden whispers or the secret plots, it is the verdict of the streets. From the heights of Mount Celos, and as we say, people, down to the core of the Dover region, the community has watched, listened, and finally passed its judgment, and that judgment is absolute. The greatest miscalculation Knife Ninja made was believing that the streets would remain blind to his malice. When you spend your time trying to block a platform like Colaz Smith TV, a platform that the people rely on to speak for them, the public notices the absence of light. You cannot hide the stench of envy forever. On the corners, my people, in the shops and along the back roads, my people, where these men once walked as brothers, the narrative have completely shifted. The respect that Knife Ninja spent a lifetime building has vanished, replaced by a cold reality. The streets know who built the bridge and they know who tried to burn it down. The tragedy of the saboteur is that in trying to isolate his brother, he completely isolated himself. Every dark practice hurdled from the shadows, every attempt to choke the growth of the channel has only caused the community to tighten its circle of protection around the movement, as me say. The very people Knife Ninja thought he could influence have turned their backs. The verdict is in. You cannot use darkness, Knife Ninja, to conquer a divine assignment, and you cannot demand respect from a community you are actively trying to destroy. The streets have spoken and the lines are now drawn on people, and the light has officially claimed its victory. Let's look at the ultimate consequences of betrayal, my people, because when the streets finally uncover the truth about someone who turned to darkness or turned to the dark side out of pure envy, do you think there is any coming back for them, or is their reputation permanently done, my people? Let me know. Have you ever seen a community completely reject someone once their true colors came to light? Let's get a massive debate going in the comments below. Drop your raw thoughts, my people. So as me say, my people, to fully understand what really and truly are going with Knife Ninja, you have to check the Jamaican history of bad mind, hate, envy, and Obeah worker. You understand? Because those all of them title fit Knife Ninja, you see it. And to look at this battlefield through the final, my people, most piercing lens, my people, we have to look at the concept of the legacy left behind. When the dust settles on a war waged with spiritual darkness and bitter envy, what is left for the future? When we view the entire situation with Knife Ninja and Colaz Smith TV, we are looking at a broken mirror, my people. For decades, these two reflected each other's struggles, dreams, and triumph from the hills of Mount Salos all the way to the borders of Dover. But once a mirror is shattered by betrayal, my people, you can try to piece it back together, but the reflection will always be distorted. The tragic reality of Knife Ninja's choice is that he didn't just break a brotherhood, he fractured his own legacy. Every movement, my people, needs a foundation of trust to survive the test of time. Colaz Smith TV built its legacy on giving a powerful voice to the completely voiceless, creating an unbreakable bond with the community that as I said, my people, that time cannot erase. But what is Knife Ninja's legacy now? By choosing to step into the shadows and relying on malicious spiritual practices and Obeah, he permanently tied his name to sabotage. Future generations walking the roads of Dover won't remember him for the struggles he overcame in his youth. They will remember him as the man who allowed envy to completely consume his soul until he turned, turned on his own blood, my people. In the end, this entire situation serves as a powerful haunting lesson for anyone watching. You can spend a lifetime building a name in our people, a reputation, and a brotherhood, but it only takes one moment of unchecked resentment to shatter it all. Colaz Smith TV continues to move forward on people. Its light burning brighter because it survived the ultimate test of betrayal. Meanwhile, the saboteur is left staring at the broken pieces of a life and a friendship that can never be fully restored. The legacy of the light is growth, but the legacy of the shadow is always isolation. As I say, my people, when you look at the entire situation between Knife Ninja and Colaz Smith TV, do you think some betrayals are so deep that they alter a person's destiny forever? Can someone who turned to dark spiritual practices out of envy ever truly find peace again, my people, or are they trapped in the cycle they created? Drop your deep thoughts below, my people, as we go further in detail in today's exclusive, which you guys have been patiently listening and vibing with Kahman Sense True. So, as I say, my people, every war must eventually come to a close and every shadow must face the blinding reality of the dawn. We have dismantled the psychology and exposed the community fallout and analyzed the broken legacy, my people. But now we arrived at the final destination of this entire journey, the ultimate reckoning, my people. When we look at the complete saga between Knife Ninja and Colaz Smith TV, we are witnessing a timeless truth play out in real time. You can use the dark to hide, my people, your actions for a reason, or a season, but you can never, ever use the darkness to conquer the light. The ultimate failure of Knife Ninja's campaign of sabotage wasn't just that it was exposed, it was that it completely achieved the opposite of what he intended. When he made the desperate choice to turn to spiritual darkness and unleash Obeah near the borders of Dover, his goal was to completely erase the growth of Colaz Smith TV. He wanted to choke the platform into silence. But a divine assignment cannot be cancelled by human envy. Instead of destroying the movement, the heavy spiritual attacks acted like a refining fire. Every obstacle thrown in the ways only forced the platform to become more resilient, more authentic, and more deeply anchored in its mission to give a powerful voice to the completely voiceless. The very malice meant to bury the channel became the stepping stone for its greatest elevation. As me say, my people, the reckoning for the saboteur is a quiet, devastating isolation, while Colaz Smith TV continues to break boundaries and expands its reach. Knife Ninja is left standing alone in the ruins of a brotherhood that once defined his life. As I say, my people, the hills of Mount Salos and the roads of Dover have made their final choice. True power doesn't come from secret altars or hidden resentment. It comes from standing firmly in your truth and serving the people with a pure heart. The mask is entirely gone, the battle is finished, and the narrative stands fully vindicated, my people, as I say. The shadows has completely dissolved, my people, and only the light remains. So, as I say, we reach the absolute end of the saga, my people. When you look back from where we start to know, my people, as I say, what is the biggest lesson you are taking away about envy, brotherhood, and spiritual warfare, my people? Me need for knowing, my people. Do you believe justice was fully served in the court of public opinion? Drop on a final unfiltered thoughts for people and verdicts in the comment section below. Let's create the biggest comment threads this channel has ever seen. And as I say, thank you guys for standing for truth, my people, and standing with the truth over here at Kahman Sense, the place to be for the latest and the factual confirmed informations only. So as I said, this concludes the final section of this historic historic exposure, but the journey for the truth never stops, my people. If this entire feature kept you guys locked in at 100% peak interest from the very first word to the final sentence, smash that like button one last time, my people. Share this complete final version across every single platform, group, and community to make sure the message is heard loud and clear. Hit that subscribe button for the Kahman Sense channel right now, my people, and turn on your notification bells so you guys are the absolute first in line when the next massive investigation drops. As I say, my people, flood the comments below and let's completely take over. Until the next one, from your ear device, with you know the host with the most over here at Kahman Sense News, the place to be for the latest and the factual exclusive only. So up until the next one, my people, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Enough love, enough respect, enough another manners, my people. Your host signing out.